Today we're going to be talking about 3 main mistakes that I made, a fitness professional, a physical therapist, somebody who rides a lot. I'm going to talk about 3 main things that I made mistakes on coming back from having a baby. My name is Liz. If you don't know me, I own a company called The Ride Life. It's online fitness and strength training for women mountain bikers. I have such a passion for helping y'all feel stronger, being able to ride better, and just having more empowerment for your body and what you can do on the trails and also off. Let's pop into the 3 main mistakes that I made personally. So number one was that I knew I needed a ton of core focus. I myself am a little bit hypermobile, and I'm also breastfeeding. And so when coming back from having the baby, I knew that I needed my core to support me. It's one of my main issues. I've had low back pain in the past. I've had hip issues in the past. And I knew that it was super important for me to get my core working and on. So it was a big focus of mine. I also went to a pelvic floor PT. Those are good things. However, I didn't focus as much on my upper back. Posture matters a ton for us mountain bikers. And for some reason, I wanted my legs and my core to be back on. I had a really main lower body focus because I wanted to get back to riding. I wanted to feel strong again. It's one of those things after you go through 9 months of slowly getting bigger, slowly having to back off, you're like, all right, I'm ready. I also had a tear whenever I gave birth, and my stitches had an issue. My stitches came apart a week after I gave birth. And so I had to go back in and get re-stitched a week after I had little girl. And that made my recovery a whole lot longer. So at the 6-week mark, whenever I went in for my check-in, they said, you're not quite ready for stuff. They needed to see me another time because I wasn't actually fully healed yet. So I had to take a little bit of a back seat for doing more things. I got out and walked, I did more things like that, but I wasn't on my bike. And so I did a distinct core and lower body focus whenever I started doing some workouts. I also had my pelvic floor therapist, and she told me what to do for that as well. But what the main mistake that I made is I didn't do any upper body stuff. I needed to do some planks. I needed to do some push-up stuff. I needed to do some chest presses. I also needed to mainly do some pulls, because whenever we're breastfeeding, whenever we have a little baby, we're holding them a ton and we start to slump forward. We start to get into this posture. Well, we can't breathe as well when we're in this posture. We can't do a lot of things that support our neck, our upper body. And so I didn't do as much pull, and I'm still working on gaining more strength in my upper back here because I didn't start doing it initially. I kind of chose which things I wanted to do. So make sure as you're coming back, include pulling exercises into your routine. No matter even if you're 1 year out now or just now getting started and doing some exercises postpartum, do some pulling exercises. The rows, the bent over rows, even grabbing a band and just pulling apart. Those are perfect. You can do that sitting, you can do that kneeling. Perfect ways to add in ways to get those pulling motions that you need in there. Number 2, it's really hard to get consecutive days of riding in. But I believe that is a really key part to feeling more confident on your bike, getting your sit bones and your pelvic floor a little bit more accustomed to being on a saddle, is to having a couple days where you're doing 2 days of riding in a row. And maybe next week it's 2 days of riding in a row. It doesn't have to be on the trails. You can just be putting around in your yard where you are working on track stands, where you're working on doing figure 8s. Those are great for working on balance and how your body is feeling. You can work on your breath work whenever you're on the bike. But I didn't prioritize doing 2 consecutive days in a row. I did maybe 2 scattered in because that's how I'm used to training, is having a ride or an interval ride and then having another ride later on. That's how I was used to segmenting my training programming. But when you're coming back from having the baby, having 2 days that you're riding in a row, whether it be on the trail or in your yard, your brain makes those connections because you've lost a lot of motor memory of what's going on in your body. I've now since started doing consecutive days of riding, and it has helped tremendously since I started doing that. And so I believe if I had started that sooner, that it would have made a really big difference in my confidence on the bike, my fitness on the bike, and balance control on the bike. And as I said, it doesn't have to be on the trail because those are harder to put in. But if you have a nap and you can bust out and go do some yard playtime, and then again the next day do some more yard playtime, do it. Have those time periods that you put in for yourself, and they will, having 2 days in a row, make such a big difference for your feeling on the bike and off. And also, if you do get 2 days on the trail, it really helps with your fitness level for doing that, because a lot of times you can't push yourself so far because you're just not ready. And so doing 2 of those days where you're pushing a little bit helps a ton. This kind of flows into point number 3. Number 3 is where every time I went out on the trail, I was really trying to work on my endurance. I was really trying to push and gain that back. Now, I work in the fitness industry, and I probably put a lot of pressure on myself to get back. And you hear from everybody that you don't try to get back to yourself. Don't try to do too much. But as I was working, I just really wanted to. I wanted to get where I could feel like I could push again. I wanted to feel stronger again. I wanted to have that, oh, here's the hill, I got this, let's get it type feeling in my body. I wanted that. And so every ride that I went out, I was really pushing on the trails. I was going all out. But we need to take a step back sometimes. And or if instead of riding all out, pace yourself. Actually pace in an interval into your ride, into a section of your ride. Don't do the entire ride as that, but making sure that you have those rest periods in your ride to help you with your recovery, to help with your overall ability to ride a longer ride. The reason why intervals are important for us in riding is that you can do a longer ride. Because if I try to go all out for a certain period of time, that certain period of time is going to be pretty small. Intervals make it so, say if I was going to go all out for a 30-minute ride, but I wanted to ride for like 45 minutes to an hour, or wanted to do more mileage. Intervals help you to compartmentalize, get recoveries in between, and so you can ride harder for that entire 45, 60-minute ride instead of just going all out for 30. That's why intervals are good. But one of the big mistakes I made was I either tried to go all out or I didn't ride for me. I didn't just go slow and look around and enjoy being there. I would definitely have some rides that I would refocus my brain for that, but it's a necessary thing for us to have intentional rides of that, where we slow down, where we take in what's around us, where you look at the wildflowers, stop and smell them, literally, have times that you're riding with friends that you just have a conversational pace. Those are key rides. I've been adding more of those into my life, where I'm not going out and just trying to bust a move. I'm not going out and trying to ride as hard as I can. And it's really super enjoyable because it gives you that mental break off where you can just be. Granted, I know sometimes we need a mental break on where we're pushing ourselves and using our bodies. I didn't have any trouble doing those. I did those and I was good at making that push, but I didn't give myself the rest and the setback because a lot of times we're sleep deprived. A lot of times we have so many other things that we have to do that it's good that we take that step back and do an easy cardio, an easy exercise where we're just out there and enjoying the sunlight. We're out there enjoying the trails. And so mistake number 3 is that I didn't do that. Is that I needed to add in some just slow, easier rides of being out there on the trail. So in conclusion, mistake number 1 is I didn't add in upper back exercises into my workout regime. Mistake number 2 is that I didn't try to ride 2 consecutive days in a row. And that would have helped me a ton when it comes to my fitness and also confidence on the bike. Mistake number 3 is that I didn't take that step back and just ride slower. Calm my body, calm my brain, not increase any more stress hormones into it, and just help clear and relax a little bit, not try to do more, not try to add things extra to it. I hope this was helpful for you. I have a 9-month-old daughter right now she's just a gem, and we're getting out more and more, but I hope that these will give you those little bit of inklings. If you're looking for a program to start following to help you get back into it, please check out the Ride Life. It has a pelvic floor section in it, and it has lower core exercises that you can do, and you strength test into your specific area that you need to help you with starting at your strength level for your workouts. Check out the link in the description below. Also, if you like this video, please like and subscribe, or comment and give me additional thoughts of things that you thought that you did wrong or the things that you did great. I'd love to hear those things. Hope you have a great day.